You're watching Business Access TV.
Business Access.
Business Access. Business Access.
Business Access.
You are watching Business Access TV.
Business Access TV.
Serious about business.
Serious about business.
The 26th staging of the Carlton Alexander Awards dinner, and this year's honorees are Professor Ren Holness and Mr. Ainsley Henriquez. So join us as we share in the moments of these prestigious awards. I'm Candy King.
The Carlton Alexander Awards is a staple in Jamaica right now, and I think it represents achievement of an individual that has done well both in national duties as well as in giving back to his school. And the truth of the matter is, for us to be successful as a country, the only way we're going to be able to do that with frankly a third world government is that we, old boys, individuals, are going to have to give back more. We're going to have a much greater charitable foundation in us. And this Carlton Alexander Awards is a beacon that sets out to honor those that do that. So an individual that has done well in his national duties and has also given back to his school. That's what we want, and that's what we're honoring tonight. And it means a lot. I'd love to get it one day.
And what can you tell us about the honorees tonight?
Well, Dr. Ren Holness is an icon in the medical field, and he's given back to his country by providing medical services free of cost, to the university for a number of years. And also, he sponsored a number of Jamaica College old boys and current students in their studies and in their post-Jamaica College studies through even medical school. And that's an amazing feat, because as you know, medical school is not cheap. So, he's fantastic. And then Ainsley Henriquez is the godfather of historic Jamaica. He's the individual that has the reservoir of information on, what is historic in Jamaica and why. And he's also given back to JC by creating the first alumni museum, and shows the old boys what they've gone on to do and while they were at school and so on. It's fantastic. So two fantastic individuals. Looking forward to a great night. And
finally, talk to us about the work of the foundation.
The foundation's role is to build the plant of the school. The school is old. We're 200 years old, and clearly, we haven't been getting subventions from the government to rebuild the plant. So that's what we focus on. We try to expand the classrooms. We try to upgrade with technology. We try to reduce the heat, through cooling mechanisms. It's a mammoth job, but it's one that I love.
As a JC old boy, talk to me about the significance of these awards.
Well, I think everyone who has received the award feels honored to be recognized by your peers and by the institution, which probably was for most of us the most influential institution in our lives, in that it helped shape our initial consciousness of ourselves as individuals stepping into adulthood. So I think it's a very significant set of awards. It also gives a chance for the school and the school community, the Old Boys Association, to showcase the achievements and the talents of the wider school community to the rest of the country, and to recognize and validate, if that's the right word, the achievements of so many different areas of life. And I'm sure to that extent it also serves as an inspiration to the younger boys in school now to demonstrate that they are in a situation where they too can achieve by developing their talents and skills.
And finally, what are you most looking forward to tonight?
Meeting, greeting some of the people that I went to school with, showing solidarity to those who are receiving the awards, who were before me at school, and really just catching up with the wider school community, friends, lots of friends.
Major Basil Jarrett, president of the JC Old Boys Association, is with me now. Talk to me about what goes into putting on an event like this.
A lot. Whenever we have the Carlton Alexander Awards, it immediately establishes a set of standards that we must adhere to. And sometimes, remember, it's a volunteer association, so persons have other commitments, personal and professional, getting the team together, getting everybody on board. That's one of the most difficult parts of the job. But once a team gets in and they start firing, it's really a labor of love. So we know we'll get the commitment and we'll get the intensity and the dedication, but it's a time to pull people away from their other lives. That's one of the biggest challenges.
And what's the significance of the awards to you?
The Carlton Alexander Award to me is something that all old boys should aspire to. It's the most prestigious award given out by Jamaica College and the JC Old Boys Association. So as president of the Old Boys, it's a lot of pressure on my shoulders to not only keep the standards high, but to ensure that the persons who get it are deserving. And we have a lot of old boys over the years who have qualified and would be great. So it's always a challenge to find the best person. But at the end of the day, it's a labor of love, and we all enjoy it.
What goes into selecting the honorees?
We look at a number of things. We look at whether or not that person has truly come to the pinnacle of his career. We look for persons who have achieved nationally and internationally and have really made their name in their chosen field. But then that person needs to give back and help to build JC. And thankfully there are a lot of persons out there because JC is very rich in tradition and our old boys really come back and get involved. So it's always difficult. The good thing though is that we never have a shortage of inductees and honorees.
Welcome to the 26th Carlton Alexander Awards, put on by the Jamaica College Old Boys Association. It is indeed my pleasure to be your MC tonight. My name is Chris Williams, otherwise known as Chris Willie, and we have a simple program here tonight.
The Carlton Alexander Awards is the flagship event. It's the jewel in the Jamaica College crown, and there are many jewels, but this is by far the most significant, most prestigious, most respected of all honors or awards bestowed by Jamaica College. It has been 26 years since the JC Old Boys created this honor to recognize those old boys who not only have gone on to achieve great things in life and done great things for Jamaica and for themselves, but have never left Jamaica College. And when we have an event like this, and I see those old boys seated before me tonight, I am absolutely honored to stand in this position where I can address you. Because when I was going to high school, when I was going to Jamaica College, my apologies, because JC is not a high school, Campionites, they know. When I was going to Jamaica College, it was the old boys that inspired me. It was the old boys that made me want to be more than I ever thought I could be. And so to stand here before you on this incredible occasion it's an amazing privilege. Before I continue, I want to just acknowledge a number of other important old boys who are here tonight. Old boys who have made the journey from very far to celebrate our brothers Ainsley and Ren tonight. I want us to start first of all by recognizing Mr. Craig Butler, who is here with us tonight. I can't see him in the crowd, but I saw him earlier. When I came to JC in 1986, Craig was leaving JC after a very exciting Manning Cup season. And Craig became a legend at Jamaica College. And to have him here tonight with us is, for me, it's an amazing accomplishment. We've managed to pry him away from his charges in Europe, where he is literally putting Jamaica on the map in world football. I also want to honor and recognize a much younger JC old boy who has also put Jamaica College on the map in recent times, Mr. Fitzroy Dunkley, who became the first JC old boy to win a medal at the Olympics as part of the Jamaica College, as part of the Jamaica 4x4 relay team last year. I also want to recognize Mr. Gary Lawson, who has taken time out from his very busy practice in Miami to be with us here tonight. Gary is a very dedicated old boy. I have had long conversations with him, and I know that as long as old boys like Gary keep invested and interested in Jamaica College, we will continue to be great. You will notice that I have singled out, for want of a better word, the younger generation of old boys. Because I believe that it is very important for us, and I'm using the term younger very loosely here, it's very important for us younger old boys to pick up that baton that old boys like Ainsley and Ren and the other Carlton Alexander awardees over the years are passing on to us. Jamaica College is great, not just because we have the most magnificent campus in the country, but because we graduate the best people. But the only way we can continue is if old boys continue to achieve and to excel and to live up to the wonderful potential and legacy that is Jamaica College. It's a happy time for me to look at the family of JC Old Boys here tonight, older and younger. But as you know, for all families, there are some miscreants. And so I want us to recognize too the president of the Kingston College Old Boys Association, Dr. Patrick Dallas, who is here with us tonight. Not to be outdone, I think Patrick has traveled with some other miscreants from Red Hills Road. I don't know if Calabar is here tonight, not sure. We also have our extended relatives from Hero Circle. I believe the Wilmer's Old Boys are represented. As should the St. George's College Old Boys. I've singled these infidels out because I'm Campion, not to be outdone. I tell the Campionites every time I see them that they got off the bus too early. And they just missed greatness by a couple stops. But I've singled out those among us tonight who are not from JC, but they are related to us in the sense that we are all a part of the Old Boys network. I think that it is time that Old Boys reclaim their place on the stage in Jamaica. For far too long, we have been satisfied to be #1 in football and athletics, but we are quite content to play second fiddle to the girls. Ladies, please, do not slash my tires. It's nothing but love. But I think you will all agree with me that as much as our ladies and our women achieve, our men must also achieve. And so I'm doing the ladies here tonight, I'm doing the ladies a great service by ensuring that when their daughters grow up, they will have equally qualified, equally respectable, equally excellent men to marry. And if that doesn't happen, my wife is here tonight, so I have to cut that joke short. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have a good night tonight. Ainsley, congratulations, sir. I always see you in the old boys' office, and I always wonder, how do you manage to sustain the love for Jamaica College? And after interacting with you and being a part of this process, I understand it, and I want to say thank you very much for being a beacon and a great inspiration to younger old boys. Ren, Professor Holness, in our interaction at your home, as we talked about the award, there's one thing that stood out in my mind about you. You were academically gifted, but you also ensured that you lived a balanced, well-rounded life at Jamaica College, and to hear you talk about it with such pride and joy, it warms my heart, because I'm a sportsman at heart, and I do believe that you can be excellent at athletics and academics. And as long as there are old boys like yourself, we will continue to strive for that.
My tenure at JC is not a job for me, it's a duty. I really actually enjoy what I do. Probably the hardest part is to see what obtains now as in schools and in the development of our boys, and what we are used to from our era, and making the transition so that we can become relevant to them. The world has changed, and so entrepreneurship, for example, is an actual subject being taught at school in the Cape syllabus, and not just as we had it at school, where we sent the boys to the canteen with 10 cents and asked them to buy a patty, a meatloaf, sugar bun, a drink, and come back with change. We really actually do have a subject now that you learn to do this as a part of the curriculum. The boys, there are actually stones on the football field still. I remember when I was at school in first form, I actually looked into the prefect room, and I was called in there by Donovan Brown and Peter Williams. Donovan Brown was the goalkeeper at the time, and Peter Williams, and asked me to search and find what I had in the prefect room. And they had me searching for a good hour and said, find it, make sure you find it. And I was, having not found it, put out on the field for the whole day to pick up all the stones. I picked up 3 big piles of stones. We can't do that anymore. I recently just clarified the rules for haircuts at JC. When I was at school, Mr. Wong, with his bald head now, and Major with his bald head now, both had afros at JC. And the rules now say your hair can't be more than a centimeter or a ½ inch long. And so that is a hard thing enforcing, because we're coming from an era where we had froze. The world is changing, ladies and gentlemen. And the last couple of months has been trying to ensure that the boys that we have, the vision of JC has always been about the college man that we produce to put out on the street, to put out to college, to put out to career, to put out to citizenship. That's what we're about. And in inculcating those values and developing that youngster, that's what we spend our time doing. Everything else is a support to that. Everything else is a means to that end. And so, while we thank the old boys, my first appeal to them today will be, come and help us with mentorship. Come and spend some time at JC, maybe on Tuesday mornings when we have the mentorship. Do you know we have female mentors at JC? We have parents, and God bless them, they've done very well. We have parents of boys and wives of old boys who have volunteered to come and help with the mentorship program. Now, while that is good, gentlemen, that is not what I absolutely want. We want and love their support, but I need you gentlemen to turn up. So it's all well and good to come here tonight, lovely, and I don't want to be scolding anybody, but gentlemen, come and help us with mentorship. The boys need to be able to relate to what happens in the real world. The discipline that they need, the understanding and relevance that they need, the contextual learning that they need, you can provide by just sharing your day-to-day experiences with them. You can provide that by just coming and helping them to organize their time, telling them about how to deal with people in the world, helping them with their relationship with girls and women. We had a discussion with the third form mentorship group, and there are boys there who think that nothing is wrong with beating women. It's not a JC problem. It's generally because the society is different and has changed. Come and help us with mentorship, gentlemen, because that's what we need now. We always need the money, so don't get me wrong. We always need the money, and so that's good. But spend some time with them. It has also been challenging watching. We are stuck in a kind of system that says we must prepare for these CXC exams. We must do well in these CXC exams. And so our content is based on preparation for the exams. That is a challenge because JC is a robotic school. JC is a hands-on school. The boys are hands-on gentlemen. And so we have to find a way to balance. We have to find a way to give them that experience that is hands-on. We have to find a way to make their learning contextual, make their learning tactile, something that they can actually do. And so that's where we want to be. Yes, we want excellent results. We do not wish to be champion or immaculate, certainly not. We want to be JC, where we produce the kind of gentleman that is good at everything. That's why it's so good to listen to and read about Professor Wren. Professor Wren is special because he's bright, brilliant, and a sportsman. That's what JC is about. We are college men. We are good at everything.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to suggest that we cannot merely be satisfied with JC being the most attractive school in Jamaica. The school motto, Collegium Floreat, Fervet Opus in Campis, may the college flourish, work is burning in the fields, has more than a physical connotation. The critically important word is fervet, from the Latin fervere, to boil or glow. I think you would agree that, as a translation, work is burning in the fields is an improvement on work is boiling in the fields, although my own preference would be work is glowing in the fields. But what does it really mean? One author translates fervet opus as the work is hotly plied. The burning or the glowing of work in the fields connotes an intensity in the work effort, a buzz and a swirl of activity, a veritable beehive of productivity. The motto therefore seeks to elicit from those of us in the JC family a commitment to an effort characterized by the kind of zeal and passion that will produce the environment of excellence in which the college will flourish. And it is only in the context of that kind of work that the college will thrive. If the effort is lukewarm, the college will not thrive. But JC is not an island entire of itself. And as an educational institution in Jamaica, JC must always position its students to make a significant contribution to the growth and development of this country. And so the proper understanding of the motto is that the college will flourish by virtue of the intensity of its work product. But this prospering, this excellence, must be placed at the service of the wider society. May I suggest, ladies and gentlemen, that there are three areas in which we need to ensure that the environment of excellence envisaged by the motto as the product of the intensity of the work effort at JC permeates the wider society. The three areas are values, academic work, and sports. Since academic work is on the list, you may well wonder why I will treat first with values. The answer is quite straightforward and simple. Academic work is trumped by values. Academic achievement, in the absence of attachment to an appropriate set of values, will not benefit the student, will not benefit the school, and certainly will not benefit Jamaica. Jamaica College must ensure that it instills the right values in its students. Whether a boy leaves JC after 3, 5, or 7 years, with 8, 5, or 2 CSE subjects, or with none at all, with 4 or 1 CAPE subjects, or with none, we must ensure that he leaves with an appreciation of those values that will ensure not only that he respects himself, but that he respects the interests and needs of others. I want to identify 3 of these values. I'd like JC to ensure that students acknowledge the virtue of a society in which there is love and an absence of violence. Teach them the strength of the elemental simplicity of the Rastafarian cry, peace and love, brother man. Teach them to embrace the plea of burning spear. Throw down your arms and come. Drop them. Put them away. Teach them the value of fairness, not just as a principle of law, but as a way of life. And teach them as foundational to the national good, love of their country. Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, if JC can do that, it would have rendered to Jamaica a service warranting the highest recognition, perhaps even the tripling of its education grant from the government. Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, if JC can do that, it would have gifted Jamaica a pearl richer than all its finest beaches, coffee and rum. And if JC can do that, it would have gifted Jamaica an asset more valuable than its gross domestic product. I turn next to academic work. Ladies and gentlemen, it is not generally well known that JC has a very special place in the history of Jamaica's educational system. In 1889, a new institution, the University College, in conjunction with the Jamaica High School, as JC was known at that time, offered courses on premises at 189 Old Hope Road, leading to the Bachelor and Master of Arts degrees. And they did this in affiliation with the University of London. This initiative, which was the first institutionalized attempt at tertiary education in Jamaica, lasted until 1902, when the University College was dissolved and merged with the Jamaica High School to become Jamaica College. Do not underestimate the significance of this initiative. Remember that it took the colonial authorities 110 years after full freedom of the enslaved to set up the landmark institution that is today the University of the West Indies. But the University College was offering tertiary education 59 years before the establishment of the University College of the West Indies, and using the very same model, affiliation with the University of London. The fact that, as far as my research shows, only 5 students graduated with degrees from the University College in no way detracts from the seminal, groundbreaking significance of this bold initiative.
Tonight, Ainsley, we have sent for you, and you have answered our summons. And as you stand proudly in our presence and in the company of Ren Holness and those who have gone on before you as Carlton Alexander awardees, the man in all his simple glory, a grateful college honors and salutes you for your integrity, loyalty, for your dedication to the pursuit of excellence, for personifying the epitome of these noble words. Floreat Collegium, fervit opus in campus.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming our tonight's honoree, Mr. Ainsley Henriquez.
I'd just like to say that I had 3 wonderful mentors in my adult life: Carlton Alexander, P.J. Patterson, and Aaron Joseph Matalon. I just thought I'd said a mouthful, but I also want to thank my 2 wives, not Sheila Lamont, but Sheila Chong and Marjorie Henriquez. They've given us 3 lovely daughters and a wonderful life. Thank you.
Professor Holness has been a generous donor to Jamaica College, who has contributed greatly to a myriad of fundraising efforts over a sustained period and greatly aided the transformation of the school. As one of the foremost neurosurgeons in Jamaica, he has contributed significantly to the nation by establishing a neurosurgical service at the Cornwall Regional Hospital in Montego Bay, where he continues to teach and examine medical students and residents. for being a dynamic, exemplary, and inspirational old boy, for his contribution to the field of medicine in general and neurosurgery in particular, for being a living embodiment of the word service. The Jamaica College Old Boys Association takes great pleasure in elevating our fraternal brother to the distinguished rank of Carlton Alexander Award for Excellence recipient on this day, Wednesday, June 14, in the year 2017. Floriat Collegium Fervet Opus in Campus.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating Professor the Honorable Dr. Ren Holness.
I think that our different endeavors illustrate the strength of Jamaica College. The previous words by my classmate, George Robinson and Trevor, I say a lot of the things I would have loved to have said, and also better said than I would have said. I must point out that when I was in Canada for many years, there was an annual JC dinner in Toronto every March. And at that dinner, many St. George's, KC, Excelsior, and other schools attended. In a truly cooperative way. I would like to recognize especially a few people. John Maxwell. There are a few people from my class who have departed, and deserve recognition. This is by no means an exhaustive list. There, from my era, there was Claude Davis, Marcia, stand up. His wife is sitting here with us, Marcia Cooper. Claude was goalkeeper and wicketkeeper through those years. There was Tony Lewis, who was an organist. A few years ago, Tony and I took a trip to Small Islands. Tony was going to do an organ recital, and we reunited a year before he died. Ivan Dixon. Garth Lampard. And more recently, David Boxer. And Professor Peter Fletcher. Well, there's somebody special in this audience which I'm going to embarrass him by asking him to stand up, because he's a JC old boy who spent 7 years with me and just graduated in neurosurgery, Dr. Nicholas Burrows. It is clear, both for Ainsley and I, that Jamaica College was a great influence in our lives and played a pivotal role in all aspects, intellectual, spiritual, physical, and incorporated the old adage, mens sana in corpore sano. And I'm sure my Latin is still there, although sometimes I wonder if it was worthwhile, because I can't remember much. Anyway, I'm so pleased to see everybody here. And what's even more important is the fact that students were part of it. The band was fantastic. I see the students outside. I would like to encourage the young old boys to be part of the Old Boys Association. And thank you all very much for being here tonight. I appreciate it very much.
Mr. Ainsley Henriquez, the recipient of this prestigious award. Congratulations. How does it feel to be on the receiving end?
It feels wonderful because apart from being proud of being a Jamaica College old boy, and I was a boarder because I come from St. Thomas Bush, and to have friends and associates who have grown up with me in what was my community of JC being a boarder. I also was Carlton Alexander was a mentor for me, as was PJ Patterson and Aaron Matalon. And so I feel very proud to be able to stand up in Carlton Alexander's name and receive an award. And to be able to share, well, I didn't share, but to have, hopefully I've been able to share. It's too late for me to have talked long. So to have shared what some of these experiences were. But Jamaica College has really been an amazing role model for schoolboys, and I didn't say schoolgirls. But of course, the mentorship concept is something that I endorse. Patrick was a friend of mine all his life, and what he spoke tonight was very important. It paralleled what I would have said, and so I think we all in all tonight was a really very, very lovely experience.
And does this inspire you to continue to give back to your alma mater?
Yes, I mean, you've heard, I actually have done the museum, but it's not just giving back to my alma mater. Jamaica as a country and its people is what I've really appreciated all my life. You know, people don't know, but I really come from a banana walk, and at one stage of my life I was a tallyman. So, you know, to give back to what it has helped me to become, to every part of my being, and particularly my parish, St. Thomas, is something pleasurable.
Well, thank you and congratulations again.
Thank you very much.
Professor Ren Holness, the second honoree tonight at the Carlton Alexander Awards dinner. How does it feel to be the recipient of this prestigious award?
It was a great honor because, of course, my school, JC, had a great effect on me from an early age during my most impressionable years. So it's a full circle, 63 years later.
What do you think is the significance of this tradition of the Carlton Alexander Awards dinner?
Well, I think our school is a central focus in this country. There are lots of great schools in Jamaica, but Jamaica College, by the history that was outlined by Dr. Robinson, it shows that we were there at the very beginning and formed the first university and was the school for Norman Mashentel, Norman Manley. And we continue to train people who have contributed greatly to our society in all walks of life, not just the wealthy, but the people from all walks of life. So I'm very proud to be part of it.
You've already had such an impactful career, but what do you hope would be your impact on the JC boys now?
Well, I will continue to be a part of the old boys to continue to mentor students, to stimulate them the way I was stimulated, give back the way I was given. I think if we can show that give that kind of background to our young students, they will hopefully do the same thing and move from strength to strength, because this country is in serious need of having the men. The young boys need to start to emulate the young girls. The girls are outperforming the boys, and the boys need to step up to the plate and match what needs to be done. And in this time when we have so much violence and all that in the society, it's really important for us to be there for the students.
Well, congratulations again, and thank you very much. Leopold Powell, dinner chair for tonight's event. Talk to us about what goes into planning an event like this.
Oh, I'm trying to plan next year's dinner starting tomorrow. We're now in the process of trying to confirm some guest speakers. So the process is a very long one. It takes place over the course of an entire year, securing sponsorship, securing guest speakers, and trying to create an atmosphere where persons can come out and enjoy the function. It goes on every year So we try to keep it fresh and make it different and make it attractive for the next year, so it doesn't seem like the same function every year. So a lot goes into the planning process, and we are in the process of getting the next one done.
And give us a little background on the awards.
Mm-hmm. So the Carlton Alexander Award is in honor of our stalwart Carlton Alexander, a legend in Jamaican business community, but certainly a legend at Jamaica College. And so we try to honor persons who embody that particular personality in terms of his humility, his spirit of volunteerism, and of course his academic excellence and achievement in whatever field that the person is involved in. So we try to honor these persons and bring them to the fore. Of course, it's also a fundraising event for the Old Boys Association. You know, we're engaged in trying to do many things at Jamaica College, including a scholarship program. I believe last year we awarded over $4.5 million in academic scholarship. We helped to support the sports program at the Jamaica College and many other activities at the Old Boys Association. So we need money, we need funds to do all of the things that we do. So the Carlton Alexander, apart from honoring distinguished Old Boys, is our singular and major fundraising event for the Old Boys Association.
Now, how important is it for you to carry on this tradition of the Carlton Alexander Awards?
Mm-hmm. Well, for the spirit of Carlton Alexander himself, we need to honor that spirit, and we need to continue, if only for that reason. But for the second most reason, of course, fundraising, because we need to continue to do all that we can for the boys at Jamaica College. We need to ensure that the same quality education we got while we were there can be replicated. You know, there are real challenges and increasing challenges for boys currently attending the school. Financial challenges, serious ones, and so we have to try as best as we can to meet those challenges by fundraising and trying to engage with our alumni in the same process, in the same event.
And that's it from us here at the Jamaica Pegasus for the 26th Annual Carlton Alexander Awards Dinner. Until next time, I'm Candy, signing out for Business Access TV.